Casey Richards, joined by Robbie Gould from the 37th Annual Chicago Golf Show. Robbie, we talked with you at this event last year, and at the time you weren't even sure what team you were going to be playing for the upcoming season, and then here we are less than a month removed from a Super Bowl appearance, so I'm sure a whirlwind year for you since last year's Chicago Golf Show.
Yeah, obviously a lot of things have been different this year for me specifically, but, it's always great to come back to the show. Our company's had an awesome year, and, a lot of that spark came from the Chicago Golf Show, so we're excited to be here, and it's awesome to be sitting next to you and talking Chicago golf, talking football, and everything else.
You're a regular appearance at this show, particularly this season, again, less than a month removed from playing in a Super Bowl. Why was it important for you to still maintain that commitment and to still come back?
Well, I think the big part for what we're trying to do as a company is our initiative this year is to have every fundraising solution for everybody's needs, right? And also have an organizational tool that every company can use to client host or to business host, whatever it may be. So this weekend it's great for us to be out here rolling out our crowdsourcing donation platform and some of our fundraising strategies that we'll be raising money for Cal's Angels, which is a pediatric nonprofit. And anytime you can come out and be in front of 20,000 people in a weekend and be able to help share a great cause, it means a lot to the culture of our company, but I think the other part of it too is it's always great to be back in the city that I love.
Obviously, you're a pretty low handicap golfer, but the great thing about golf is there's always something to work on, right? So how has your game evolved maybe since you were at the show last year here?
Well, I have 3 boys now, so my golf game is very limited, but it's fun to get them out on the course and be able to go out and hit balls at the range or play 5 holes with them and introduce them to a sport that has highs and lows, right? There's good rounds, there's bad rounds, there's good shots, there's bad shots, and I think the game teaches not only yourself a lot, but I think it teaches them a lot about having patience and enduring some difficult shots and frustrating times when they just start picking up the game.
I know you have a couple of stage appearances at the show this weekend. What are some of the things you're going to be highlighting while you're up there?
I'm hoping that the pro teach me how to hit a draw because I have a lot of cuts in my bag, some pushes, but more cuts. But the big part about it is, just being able to interact with the fans. Do a little bit of Q&A. Go through the routine of how I line up, just the same comparison of how I line up a field goal. And field goal kicking and golf are very similar. You have to learn how to play the winds. You have to aim at a target. Sometimes you have to play outside the post. Sometimes you have to play left side of the green, even though the pin's on the right. So for me, it's just about telling the story and having fun.
We spoke with Olin Kreutz yesterday about his passion for the game, obviously Patrick Manley as well. Who are some of your current teammates that maybe you get out on the golf course with the most?
I play a lot with Mike McGlinchey, former Notre Dame offensive lineman, and it's fun to watch him play because he's probably a 15 handicap, and being able to watch him hit a golf ball off the tee is like 330 yards, 350 yards. It's silly. But it's fun to watch him kind of go through that progression of how to become a better golfer. And other than that, there's not a whole lot of guys that play on the team, surprisingly. But we have a handful of guys that go out and play every now and again.
The PGA Championship in just a few months now is going to be contested in the San Francisco area, TPC Harding Park. Any familiarity with that track for you at all?
I haven't played TPC yet. That's one of the places I haven't played, but it's kind of unique. It's 2 really unbelievable golf meccas, I call them, because Chicago, you can go pretty much anywhere, and there's probably 20 of the top 10 100 courses in the country. You go to the same thing in San Francisco, in a 40-mile radius there in the Bay Area. You can find Olympic Club, San Francisco Golf Club. You can go down to Pebble Beach and Monterey and play, some of those courses. So, the golf is unique that they're going to have and host a lot of championships. And then you have the Senior PGA Championship, which is coming just around the corner in Michigan. So hopefully I'll be able to get out to a couple of those and be able to see it and watch the guys play.
Circling back to what you mentioned about Mike being a 15 handicap, how important is kind of that system being in place in order for the opportunity for exactly what you described, for a low handicapper like yourself, maybe a mid handicapper like Mike, to be able to go out and play, fairly and competitively on the same playing field, so to speak?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the handicaps. Obviously that helps whenever you're playing a game or a match or whatever. And I think the other part of it, though, is for him, it's like anything else, and how do you is managing the golf course and what your short game looks like, right? If you go look at these guys that play on tour, the separation is strokes on the green, and Same goes for myself, right? So I think the big part about it is, you got to have an itch for it. You got to have a passion to go out and be able to practice it and play. And he's lucky enough that he can go out and play pretty much every day and in the off season if he wanted to. And for a guy that big and that size, to be able to go hit a golf ball and learn how to play and become a low handicap just shows you the commitment that you can have to a lifetime sport.
What would you say to people who may be watching this that haven't come to the show yet? I'm sure you want them to stop by your booth here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great show. You have anything here from clubs to, some of the greatest resorts and golf courses to every accessory you could possibly think of. Right behind us here, you can demo clubs, and for us, just come say hi and come check out the Eventlify product.
All right, Robbie, thank you very much for taking the time.